There are multiple ways you can impact our little community. We've got some gentlemen here and an owner who started something new, having an impact. Check this out. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome to the Your Little Castle Show. Yours truly, Carter Rethwish, Cardinal Cowboy. We're going to have a cool discussion here. There's a lot of ways you can impact a community, a lot of ways you can help people. A lot of people who don't spend much time. You want to be happy. Let me throw this one out there to start off with, because we got an example right here, and Travis shared this with us. So Travis, you were given the opportunity, the option, the resource here to work for Johnty at his new establishment, Muddy Waters, and you effectively said that it saved your life. Tell me why you feel that way.
Well, I been suffering from addiction for some amount of years, and I haven't always went down the right path, and I suffered from nausea and severe pain, so I always turned to pain pills and stuff for anxiety, which were narcotics. And I recently, about 3 years, have been using plant medicine as an alternative for the harder drugs, and it helps me with pain, anxiety, and rather than going down the harder road, which I chose in the past.
Yeah, so Johnty has given you the opportunity to work at his establishment now, where it's called Muddy Water Smoke Shop, where they have a number of things where you can partake and enjoy and be a part of the community. But Johnty, welcome to show number 2. First show, check it out. Doing these play units that are awesome, and setting up for kids to have a nice place for playgrounds that they can have. You're setting them up all over the country, and that led to something here because your background a little bit. You said in your past youth with gangs and those things, but this kind of became your release, and now you're getting to help other people. Tell me why you decided to start the smoke shop and what it's doing for you.
Yeah. So I've been in recovery for going on 10 years now. I'm gonna
go ahead, keep going.
I've been in recovery basically since I was 14 because I've been, locked up in the penal system. So, but I tried. I did so many different SSRIs the past 10 years, and I.
What's an SSRI?
Depression medicine.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, so I tried, a bunch of different ones, and some of them would work for a bit, and then they would just stop working. So obviously, I'm treatment resistant. So I tried ketamine, and ketamine is a taboo prescription at this moment.
Something or something?
Yeah,
if I heard that before, I don't
know. And it's considered an hallucinogen or psychedelic. Anyways, these spaces that ketamine put me in completely eliminated depression. Gone.
Really?
Like magic.
Huh.
And so it really made me take a look at my abstinence from drugs and alcohol, and what other methods of medicine could help. Because where I come from, weed is considered a drug. So if I were to use it, then I'm not sober anymore.
Gotcha.
Right? So it's kind of really changed. Ketamine was able to completely change my mind about plant medicine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you've now essentially established is a place for people that can come to, and you've got, it's called a smoke shop. So if people put that up on the screen here, it allows people to congregate. They all kind of have, maybe some of the people come from similar backgrounds or have similar interests or have gone through similar struggles, and you're giving them kind of a resource to hang out. It's publicly available. Anybody can visit there.
Absolutely.
And friends, it says on your tagline, a place where everyone is welcome. Tell me why that's important to you.
We're a Narcan distribution center. On Wednesdays, we hold a recovery meeting at 7:30. I once heard a TED Talk where it said the opposite of addiction is connection. And so that makes sense to me. The opposite of addiction is community. So creating a community space where everyone is kind of like of the same mind. Like, hey, we believe plant medicine works, but when we bring that to an AA meeting, they tell us no, that we can't talk about it. Type stuff, you know. So people have found a place with Muddy Waters, and what we're trying to do is create this sense of community surrounded by recovery that segues into our sober living facility that we plan to do upstairs. And so we hope to create like this big ecosystem where people are living upstairs and then they're working downstairs and they're changing their lives for the better, but still allowing them to consume plant medicine, which is unheard of in St. Louis for sober living facilities.
Interesting. So, what is it? Was it your background that led you here, and were you just looking for a solution, and then you said, "Hey, man, I've come up upon something. I want to create a community, a place where people can congregate," and that's what led to you. How long has this particular location been around now?
We've been around since August, and it kind of evolved by itself. So, as people were coming in and talking to us, customers like terminal cancer patients or veterans. We started to notice a trend that this was bigger than selling anything. That stuff, what we sell, right? This is way bigger than that. And so with my experience in recovery, with my experience growing up in institutions and different recovery models, it just makes sense. Let's make a lasting impact in this neighborhood that's basically an open air drug market.
That's interesting. So tell me, Travis, what has been your experience here then? You're congregating with some people, you're helping other people to understand that they can recover like you have. What has been your experience there?
Correct. So there's been customers that come in and that I've seen that have been struggling with addiction. I've interacted with them. First and foremost, become friends. Like when someone comes in and the interaction with them, it's not just about it's not. I work there, but it's just a job to me. It's more than that. They come in and they've been struggling. I can see that. I let them know that we're having. On Wednesdays, we have a 7:30 meeting that is like, I was one of those people who went to NA and AA, and I didn't feel comfortable because I felt like I was judged because I used plant medicine. At Muddy Waters, we do not judge at all. And they come in and they've became, like, there's a handful that's become regulars that come every Wednesday now, and they're not using meth, heroin. They're using plant medicine as an alternative for harm reduction. And if I can help one person, because I've been there, I've done my job. I'm gonna continue to do it. And I really hope people, know that they're not judged when they come to Muddy Waters.
Yeah, so it's providing a resource that you decided, Johnty, that this is something you wanted to give back to the community. You've got two businesses, and that's what I talk about. There's people who take on the planet to help the world in one way, and some people do multiple ways, and that's what you're doing here. How does it make you feel to hear what Travis is saying about what the environment that's kind of been created there? Was that the vision you had?
No, it wasn't the vision I had. I had no idea what this was going to turn into. But when you sit in these spaces and you get to know these people, and it's very emotional. It's so emotional to come in and see when people are saying that something like we're a smoke shop and a lounge. He's not the first one to say that this has changed his life, and to hear stuff like that. I don't know what we're doing there. We're doing something magical though, and you can really tell in the neighborhood. It's something magical. So.
Well, I can tell you've got some passion there for this, and it's obviously kind of in your DNA. As a kid who struggled with the background that you came from, what is your passion for this? Is your goal to just provide a place where people can have an open environment, or I think you said you're going to have a second floor where you can start doing a little more of the rehab. What is your long-term goal for that?
So right now we're building out our sober living facility upstairs, and we're also at the very same time building out our basement. So our basement, we plan to do another kind of lounge area, but we're basing it around music. And Muddy Waters, the idea of it was, Muddy Waters is a blues player, right? Like he played with Miles Davis, he played with Duke Ellington Band, and Clark Terry. We have a big mural of Clark Terry on the side of the building. So it all makes sense that music, recovery, connection, plant medicine works, as one big concept. Now, we're on the chopping block. In Missouri is trying to create framework that basically says what we sell will be illegal. It's going to be a Schedule I drug again.
Really?
And it was declassified in 2018, enacted in 2022. They're trying to change that language. So we're on the chopping block. So pivoting as a business, what we still want to create is our sober living facility. We still want to create our downstairs facility that we call the downstairs lounge. There was, when I was growing up on South Grand, there was this bar called Upstairs Lounge, and it was like a pit. There's a cult following for it, right?
Oh, really?
So we want to bring that audience to Muddy Waters as well, because they're my age. A lot of them are in recovery now. A lot of us have died from that era from drug abuse, so.
I'll start with Travis on this one. How big? Are you a veteran? Is that what?
Yes, sir.
You served in our military?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your service there.
You're welcome.
And give me a little bit more about with regard to how bad is drug abuse in general, and with some of your personal experience, and those who come out of the military,
Yes, sir.
are suffering with PTSD. Where does this come through for you that you're seeing this is making an impact too?
Actually, my drug addiction started. I broke my collarbone pretty bad in the military, and I was honorably medically discharged, and that's whenever I started using pain pills. And of course, pain pills led to other things. And there's just so many veterans and just people in general that drug addiction, and it's unreal, like, and it's a disease. It's not just, Missouri, it's everywhere. And I think that there's so many different alternatives to just, like, with the sober living, with people, using plant medicine. I know with me, because I've been in and out of sober livings, and honestly, I'd drop dirty for marijuana, and then they're like, you gotta get to go, and I was back on the streets using other drugs. So I think with this, it's going to be something special for those people that are like how I was. I'm a recovering addict. I'm always going to be recovering, and I'm just happy to be a part of this, for real.
Well, that's what we like to see with regard to those who are making an impact and putting themselves out there, because nobody said you have to do this. You saw an opportunity to make a difference and help people and give people that place where everybody can come together and also enjoy company of each other. It's not necessarily just a rehab per se, but it's a community for people to partake and just enjoy each other's company.
Connection.
People have similar interests. Is that true?
Connection, yeah.
Connection.
Like I said, the opposite of addiction is connection. So, community.
The opposite of addiction is connection. Write that one down, everybody. We're going to take a quick break here for some of the stuff we've done in the community here, a lot of the fun that we've got going on, and we'll be back. Stay tuned.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwish was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner, to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. Well, there we go, and that's what we'd like to emphasize is community stuff. And but I tell you now that the thought just crossed my mind. I was in a very bad situation coming out of a coma. Had a broken jaw. People go, "What happened to your jaw?" We had a dimple over here. That's kind of weird. I'm like, well, that's where they put the metal plate in my jaw to put my jaw back together. But thank goodness I did not become addicted to pain pills, because there was definitely some pain there. I had a drug called Dilantin that I had to stay on because I went into seizures, and it'll stop seizures. But now they say, oh, these EMT guys are like, oh, we don't even use that anymore. It might have been ketamine, some sorts of K that they talked about. But anyway, yeah, I mean, just I guess where I'm going with that part is there's a lot of people who need help. There's also a lot of people who will refuse that kind of help too, and they're going to go, well, I don't need that, or I don't have a problem, or whatever it is that would keep them. Because once you say, oh, we're going to take you to a clinic, we're going to take you to a facility, you're going to be going away. That's a big step for a lot of people. This could kind of be an intermediate option for people to say, hey, let's just go hang out. Let's just go be around other people. Tell me how you feel like this it fits well into our little space here.
Yeah, I think it can be that. And you have spaces like that all across the country, like Alano clubs, where people are able to come in and just kind of congregate in a safe area that doesn't have alcohol, that doesn't have drugs. So yeah, for sure, absolutely, that's part of our model.
Well, I see another opportunity here to help people, something that's obviously made an impact. And that came out of the question I asked. Give a cost analysis, but the alternative is like the big step there. A lot of people are talking about. And I know somebody recently. I won't name names, obviously, but flew down to like another state. We'll just say down somewhere, and had to go through a whole, having surgery and all kinds of things, but because of a drug addiction. That's kind of the extreme. So if somebody has the resources and has the money, then maybe that's the route they go, and that doesn't always succeed. This is a more cost-effective way, if you will. There's no cost. People come in, they can purchase whatever it is they have that you guys offer, but there's no requirement. It's just more of a lounging area where people can enjoy other people of similar minds, similar history, maybe similar experiences, similar traumatic events, if you will, but they can and then kind of counsel each other and be helpful and support each other. Is that kind of what you got?
That's
here?
exactly what we've created on accident. We didn't mean to. It just kind of created itself because all of us that work there have been around the recovery community, and then all of a sudden all recovery people are coming around us, and then all of a sudden fentanyl addicts are coming around us, and it just totally makes sense that that's what we become. We become this center of the community where people like that can congregate. Because at one time this was illegal. Drug addicts congregating was illegal.
Really?
It
I
was.
didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess.
That's a part of the history.
Wow.
So.
Well, then, with that, your job is actually customer service manager,
Yes, sir.
Travis. So tell me, you've seen some of the impact here. What are the response you get from people? What are people telling you about their experience when they visit?
They're always saying that our vibes and the vibe there is just amazing. Like they feel welcome. They feel like they can come there and not be judged. And which I understand exactly where they're coming from. Because the way there's so many judgmental people out there that look down on drug addicts in general, and someone that's trying to recover using plant medicine shouldn't be looked down on. And they feel comfortable and they feel like they're in a safe place, and that's what we're trying to provide there at Muddy Waters.
Well, it seems like this can become a very valuable resource. And it just started out. How did this initially get started? What was the concept? You just were looking for a place to hang? Where did this come from, and what led you to where you're at here?
Yeah, I was looking for something to do in the wintertime because I work in construction, right? So I need something to do in the wintertime, and this is what it's morphed into. It's created itself, and we didn't know. All I did was I went into a space and I threw on some paint and I put up some pictures, and I bought some products, and then it turned into this. So now we're a community-based, community-forward project, basically, as opposed to a smoke shop.
Yeah, now effectively you've created a community where people can kind of have a safe haven, if you will. They can come in and hang out with people that are alike. They've been through similar circumstances. And how often do you meet somebody who's been in a similar story as yourself, Travis, where you find out that they had an injury and then put on
Every day.
every day?
Every day, and that's what's important, I think, is for us, for us who work there and who is part of Muddy Waters. I think that's very important for the customers that come in to be able to relate and be able to know what they've been through, because I think that it helps with the recovery, the process of recovering, because it is a process. And some people may not fully recover, but I think it's very important.
Yeah, I would say if there's anything you can do to help somebody get off of drugs, get away from being addicted to something that can be detrimental. I mean, then you get into is marijuana really addictive? Is it really bad? Is it better than drinking too much or opioids? But as long as you have that environment now where you can give somebody support, I guess is really what you guys are offering. So that how many people end up on a drug binge and they're going, well, I can't tell anybody. I can't go to anybody around me because they're going to shun me. They're not going to support me. They're going to call me a drug addict. Here you've got a culture and environment where people can get support.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pretty exciting stuff here that these gentlemen have put together. And Johnty, congratulations to you for another successful endeavor here. It looks like you're really doing something to make a difference on our little planet. What has been one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome with regard to, I don't know if you want to give me something in general in life. Obviously, you talked about did you have an addiction when you were at many times in your life?
Yeah, many times.
You mentioned you're recovering. I noticed you said recovering, like you're always recovering, and you said that too, Travis. But what has been your biggest hurdle with regard to this project, if you would say, And what do you see now? Some of the things you're going to have to. And you're talking about evolution. You're going to have to already
The
evolve
evolution, yeah.
based on legislation
So-
changes.
So the biggest hurdle being that there's alcohol lobbyists that are coming after this industry, and because alcohol sales are down, and hemp sales are up, and they're going after that right there. With regard to changing and evolving, I have hope that we don't have to. And I have hope that that isn't going to be a thing. But that is our biggest struggle right now. And I wanted to point this out too, is psilocybin, psychedelic treatment, mushrooms are on the ballot this year in Missouri.
Really?
And that's a huge thing. And if it becomes legal to treat veterans, and that's what's on the ballot, is treating veterans for PTSD with psilocybin, we are absolutely looking into that, and we are pivoting to that. We totally believe we're going to have psychedelic coaches on site anyways. I really think there's like a psychedelic renaissance going on, and that renaissance is changing the world. And we will be a part of that in the form of medicine at Muddy Waters if we have to, and because we want to as well.
Well, you're doing a lot to impact here. Travis, as we finish up, give me a little bit of where do you see the future for what's going on here, what you're working on, and how you can help people?
With the, are you talking about with the
With Muddy Waters.
with Muddy Waters in general?
Yeah.
Continue to welcome everybody open arms, and let them know they're not, no matter what, they're not going to be judged. It's an environment where, there's no negative, nothing negative whatsoever. It's always positive.
Great group of people. One of the questions I have, how does somebody get started with your organization? How does somebody join? How does somebody partake? Do they just show up, come to your establishment and walk in the door and greet it and then get to know people? What's the
Yeah,
process? What's
absolutely.
normal the greeting process for people?
On Wednesdays, we have our meeting. It's at 7:30 until 8:30. It's at 7718 South Broadway. You can come in. It's free, obviously. Everyone's welcome. It's a harm reduction meeting. And in regards to the business itself, you can just walk in. We have plenty of products that you can come and take a gander at. And in regards to our sober living facility that's coming up, that's on the way. So stay with us. Come into our shop. Chill with us. Hang out with us. Let us shake your hand. And that's like a part of our thing, is like we shake everyone's hand. We get to know everyone. So come shake our hand. Get to know us.
Somebody who's reaching out in another way to impact and help people and connect. And I'm always in support of all the organizations that are going out of their way to try to help others, no matter what that may be. And I know that drug addiction has become such a big problem in our country. I've seen personal friends who've been devastated, some of the most successful people that you may have ever dreamt that they might be conquering the world, and their life is just flipped upside down by drugs. So you're giving them kind of an alternative, someplace where they can meet and greet and hang out with others and get to build their own little recovery platform. You're watching Your Little Castle Show.